You only knew the nights I cried, praying to God, asking Him why. Smiling in the crowd, but broken inside, carrying a weight I could never describe. I lost friends, lost love, even lost myself. Had a Bible in my hand, but still needed help. I was down so low, with nowhere to run, but somehow the morning still brought me the sun. These are the lessons life gave me for free. Every scar on my heart turned me into me. If you ever been broken, then you understand. Sometimes God will break you just to make you stand. I learned family can cut you deeper than the streets, and silence will teach you more than a speech. I learned money don't heal what your soul's been through, and forgiveness ain't for them, it's what sets you loose. I've been lied on, cheated, left for dead, had people toss in my pain while I bled, but every storm I survived, it gave me proof that the hardest road still leads you to truth. These are the lessons life gave me for free. Every scar on my heart turned me into me. If you ever been broken, then you understand. Sometimes God will break you just to make you stand. I ain't who I was, but I thank God for that. 'Cause every time I fell, He put me right back. And now when I look in the mirror, I see a woman built stronger than the pain tried to leave. Oh, these are the lessons life gave me for free. Every scar on my heart turn me into me. If you ever been broken, then you understand. Sometimes God will break you just to make you stand. Welcome to the Mystic Friday. This podcast is heavy for me to do today. But nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and tap in to what's going on. This podcast, we're going to talk about some things that people, kind of afraid to say out loud. In today's episode, we're going to call this When Love Feels Like a Job, the Chosen Child. Again, when love feels like a job, the chosen child. And I'm going to tell y'all, when I say this podcast was heavy to do tonight, everything that couldn't go wrong wanted to try to go wrong. So y'all bear with me. This topic is really heavy. So if you feel like a topic is too heavy or too much, then this may not be the podcast for you. If you feel like the truth shouldn't be said in whatever manner, then this podcast might not be the podcast for you. Again, we titling this When Love Feels Like a Job, the Chosen Child. Give me just a second here. As like I said, is when everything could go wrong, that means I need to push and go ahead on and do it. And at first I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do it today for whatever reason, because some things hit me heavy. And then when I got ready to get on, then the technical difficulties, just everything that could go wrong decides to go wrong today. Nevertheless, we're gonna go ahead on. We're gonna do this. Now, this podcast is for anyone who grew up feeling responsible for a parent's emotions, Let me just get let me just get TikTok going here. Y'all bear with me. Okay. I think we got it set up. Okay. So it's about growing up with parents who struggle with mental and being the child who's expected to hold everything together. This is a podcast for anyone who grew up feeling responsible for your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your uncle, your cousin. Before I dive deep, what I need you to do is go ahead and share the live for me. If you know someone who's have a parent that has mental issues or who's struggling with mental issues, mental problems, and have children, please share this live to them. It may be beneficial to them. Now, if you have a parent, especially your mother, who struggle with mental issue and become the one that, she always lean on, I just want you to know today that you are not broken. You were adapting. Let me say this again. For anybody who mother had to depend on them for whatever reason, it could be to cook, it could be to clean, it could be to watch your siblings, whatever it is. I'm talking to you tonight. And I want you to know that you were not broken. You just was adapting to what was in front of you or the environment. And I know that may be hard to hear because I want to help my mama. And even with boy children, they have a tendency of want to get out the house and want to, sell drugs, of course, or whatever type of hustle that they may come up with. Nowadays, it's a lot more stuff that's a little bit more easier than doing drugs. So if this is you, you are not broken. You was just adapting to what was going on. Don't feel like that, you had to help. You just was adapting. And I'm reminded when I was dating someone and they felt like not only it was their responsibility, but later on in life, they realized it wasn't their responsibility. But even then, they feel like it was a duty for them to do what was necessary to cover the family. And he was a male, and I had to let him know that wasn't your responsibility. You was just broken and adapting. So I want to tell you what a chosen child means. And mostly children are definitely broken or has been broken or currently still broken. Being a chosen one doesn't mean being the favorite and the fun. It usually means being the emotional support child. You might have been the listener, the peacemaker, the helper, the one who understood everything. Have you ever been in a place, even with your friends, you find yourself being that special someone that's saying, hold on, friend, what you doing is wild. Have you ever been that friend, you just sitting at the table, you got your arms crossed and you looking around and you don't feel comfortable, like you don't fit in with this, like this not something for you? I'm talking to you. This exactly what it means. You be mature for your age and you kind of what's the word I want to use? Let me just say you will mature and you didn't have a lot of friends at the beginning. And you begin to understand that your destiny here on earth is to do what you're called to do, which is in the manner that you may be in at that time. But as you get older, you learn that it's not as the depth as you think it is. Like sometimes, like when you help a homeless person, you may give them a couple dollars, you may feed them or whatever. But you ain't finna walk up to them and you ain't finna buy them no house unless you got it like that. I'm really being honest. You ain't finna do that. So this role is often chosen by the child. It's just placed on them. Again, this is something that you feel as a child that you're obligated to do. When people hear chosen one, they think about heroes, someone that's special, someone that's strong. But in real life, the chosen one is often just a kid. I love kids. I don't play about kids and elderly people. Those are the two things that I do not tolerate. And up under that scale will have to be women and then men. Sorry, that's just the way it's set up, you know. And I feel like the chosen one love special heroes with cape, heroes that save the day, and that's okay. But some people never make it out of the kid stage mentally, you know, even when they're grown. And sometimes it's later in life, probably around, as they say, 30, when the light bulb come on, then they'll begin to see that, hey, this was not what I was supposed to be. This is not the baggage that I was supposed to carry. But a kid who learns early how to read moods, a lot, I'm talking about the chosen ones now. I'm talking about the chosen one. They know how to read mood. They know when to stay quiet. They the responsible one. When the mama leave them in charge and they walk away, they the one that's saying, did mama tell you not to do that? Did mama tell you not to say that? Why you saying that? I can remember, I'm from Memphis, so I can remember going to Klondike Elementary. And my brother, I remember in kindergarten, the first day, my mother dropped me and my brother, my brother and I, dropped us off. And when he dropped us off, when my mama dropped us off, my brother saw me crying, and he said to me, he said, sis, stop that crying. I don't know what you crying for. Mama gonna be back to get us. But I was younger than him, and of course, I was the baby. You know, so that was something that I did at that particular time. But here's the thing. When a mother struggles with mental health issues, the house can be very, very unpredictable. When the house, let me say this again, because I don't think people hearing me, I don't think people really truly understand what I'm saying. When a house is very quiet at some point, and then the next point is Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde. This is what I'm talking about. It could be very unpredictable. One day it could be this, and then the next day it can make you question your whole existence. It can make you feel like, were you given, swapped at birth? Were you given to somebody else, and then later on, this lady here picks me up? You know, it's always unpredictable. Some days are loving, some days are heavy and slow. And one child becomes the emotional anchor. You know, it's always that one child. I don't care how many kids are in the home. It's always that one child that's carrying. And then, I don't want to get deep too soon, but I feel like I need to say this right here. Some of y'all have friends and be sitting up there with children, and y'all see what's going on, and y'all turn around and say, I mind my business. Is that what you're supposed to be doing? You know, it really makes me question. I'm not the one that's going to sit up over your house and let you be a crash out. Not on my watch. So am I your friend, or am I just your company? Am I your friend, or am I just your company? Like, which one am I? You know, I don't know which one am I? You know what I'm saying? But you might feel like you have to stay strong no matter what throughout the situation. Your emotions become second again because you're taking on this role that wasn't fit for you to be taken on. You were supposed to be a child, do child things, and when you become older, you put away those childish things. That's what you're supposed to do. You know, there's a lot of ways you can wake up a child before time. There's a lot of ways you can wake up children before time. But you might feel like you got to stay strong in this. Your emotions is second. And if you fall apart, everything else might fall apart too. You grow up too fast. I mean too fast. Where you a teenager and you think you're grown. You grow up absolutely too fast. And then people will begin to praise you and say that you mature for growing up fast. but not realizing the maturity was just a survival mode or just a survivor thing for you to get to your next chapter in your life. You feel what I'm saying? So thank you for the likes. Thank you for the like. And thank you for the repost. But I just want y'all to understand, growing up too fast is not a cute thing. It's not a pretty thing. It's 9 times out of 10, the kid is dealing with some emotional issues in the house, mental issues in the house. Let's keep it real. Dealing with all those type of issues, and they growing up too fast because they had to do that. And if you can think about it, I want to say the movie with Tupac, the hate they give us. I want to say that movie, but I'm not really sure. If y'all know Tupac life, y'all know he had to grow up extremely fast. He had to take care of stuff he didn't even have to do. Why I feel like we froze over here. I don't know what's going on. But why do our parents do that? Why do our parents do that? Can anyone tell me in the chat, why do our parents do that? I know some people may do that simply because they need you to watch the kids because I need to go to work and I need to provide for my family. And some people just do it just because and they just trifling. You want to run the streets. You want to get this dude. You want to scream. You want to yell. And at the same time, when you screaming and you yelling, you got fucking mental issues. And then you got little ones running around, and probably the oldest one is the one that's going to take care of the kids and looking after the kids, feeding the kids, bathing the kids. And then, but what life do that child have? If that child going to do that for you, what life they going to have, and then what are you going to do? You know? Are you just sitting up just hoping a change going to come? Or are you sitting up trying to get it together? Are you utilizing that time and trying to pull yourself out of the hole and realizing, hey, my child don't need to go through this? You know? When a parent mental health struggles, they may not even be having emotional support, sometimes without realizing it's their child's turn to fill in their gap, not for the mother to push the child to be a mother or father at an early age. And this is why you got to be careful. You got to be careful who you have eggs with. You know, you got to be careful who you have eggs with. It's very important that you be careful who you have eggs with. Because I mean, look, I ain't gonna go too deep in there because I'd have been gone on and got off topic and need to stay on this particular topic. But I just want y'all to understand that it's not what we're supposed to be doing. If you as a mother yelling and screaming or going through some mental issues, separate yourself from the kids. Whatever that looks like. I don't want to tell you what that looks like. Whatever that looks like. Remove yourself from the kids. Come back. Let's revisit. Or sometimes you can take a vacation. Sometimes you can go over here and to the river where you live at and just chill out for a day. Whatever that looks like for you, step away and say, hey, my mental is not together. I'm losing it here. It's okay to say that to yourself. You're not crazy. You're not dumb. You're not stupid. You know? Hey, cousin, how you doing? Thank you for the gifts. Y'all, please share the live for me over here on TikTok. Share the live, tap the screen, and give me some likes so we can stay at the top. But step away. Step away. I was having a conversation with somebody in this past week, rather, and they was telling me that they go to work and then they come home. That's it. They don't spend money on nothing, you know, other than everyday life stuff that they got to do to make it throughout the week to work. And she said to me, well, it don't matter to me. I ain't got to have no vacation. But then at the same time, she was telling me I'm tired. Yes, her kids are grown, but at the same time, what your mental look like? You know, what your mental look like? What do your kids have to say about you? This is the one that everybody gets pissed off with me about. What do your kids have to say about you? And if you want to know, ask your kids how they feel about you. Just straight up ask them, have a conversation with them, sit down and let them express themselves and say, hey, how do you feel about mama? How do you feel about dad? What do you think about mom? What do you think about dad? You'll be surprised. But if you raising or training up a child in a certain way, and then you may get some fucked up results that you ain't ready to hear, and then it's funny, and then it's comical. Now you embarrassed, and now your mental is even further messed up than what it was already is. So, we got to be real with ourselves. We got to be real with ourselves and stay real with ourselves. Don't fool yourself. Step away from the mic. Step away from the food. Step away from the phone. Step away from social media. Step away, press the reset, and come back. And you can even press the reset. You can press the rewind and then turn around, fast forward. And you'll be like, oh, this is so simple. This is so simple. What's going on, gorgeous? Thank you for liking the live. And we got to keep at it. We got to stay at it. It's not you do this one time and then that's it. No, you got to keep on doing this. This is repetitious. You know what I'm saying? But understand this. The excuses can harm the child. If you tell your child, well, oh, you got to watch your older sibling because I got to go to work. Then, mama, guess what you need to do? You need to figure out another solution. Because now you're weighing in on that child. And that child is 10 years old, popping their hips, hand on the hips, and holding the baby and swearing they grown. Like, when has that become a norm? Like, I'm trying to figure out, And other people on the outside scared to tell you because you that cool person or they don't want to hurt your feelings. But then if you can't accept the truth that I'm telling you and be pissed off with me right now, but then when you step back and assess the situation, then you say, you know what? Mindy was telling the truth. I may be a little salty. You know what I'm saying? I may be a little salty for what she said, but she was telling me the truth. Here's the invisible cost that no one talks about with the children. Being a chosen one can make you feel invisible. Your pain doesn't feel important enough to mention. You learn to minimize yourself. Here you is 15, 16, not even knowing why you even here. You not even knowing what's the purpose of you here. What's up, Queen? Thank you. You not even understanding why you here. She says, we give children adult responsibilities and expect them to remain a child. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then if they say something that there's adults supposed to say, then get what? They looking at you like you're crazy. Saying, girl, who raised you? You know what I'm saying? And it ain't even funny, y'all. It ain't even funny at all. It's pitiful. Sometimes you feel guilty as wanting freedom. I look at those little bitty children and I wonder. They don't have no kid time. And if you notice or if you remember, Michael Jackson didn't have no kid time either. If we tell the truth now. Michael Jackson did not have no kid time. That's why he came up with Never Never Land. Michael Jackson wanted to be a kid at 40-some years old. He wanted to live a child as an adult. And that's backwards. That's backwards. Like, why we want to do that? And you would think as time progresses and on that the shit would get better. But no. She said, we give children adult responsibility and expect them to act or to remain a child. Absolutely. Absolutely. She says it's a cycle because our parents did it to us and we're doing it to our kids who are doing it to their kids. Man, when I tell you, Miss Queen, I got 3 different cameras going. TikTok over here, Facebook and YouTube over here. I'm really, I'm glad you said that. And I'm gonna read it again. It is a cycle because our parents did it to us. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. Parents had issues, real life issues. And now that they're older, some of them now are still stubborn, set in their ways. So they still wants to carry this title. They still wants to demand you to do a lot of shit. But at what point or what generation do we say, hold up. This too much. It's too many bricks in this backpack. I need to drop this backpack because this backpack too heavy. This load I'm carrying is too heavy. And then guess what? Now you having children. Now your children feel the same way you feel about your mama. So at what point do we say, hey, enough is enough? We've been carrying this for too long. But needing care does not mean you owe your childhood away. No. I have an 8-year-old. I have a 17-year-old. I wouldn't dare stay out all night long. Now we ain't talking about the ones that get the people to watch the kids and they going to work. We talking about the ones that like to go to the club, like to go and do all of this. That's what we talking about. She said he was called to be a role model, but he was a child when he started. I'm confused. Let me say this again. She said he was called to be a role model, but he was a child when he started. Girl, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know, I hated that for Michael because Michael never got right. He never got right at all. But he sank himself in his music though. And when he got kids, he did try to make sure that those children were getting the care that they need, getting the love that they need. You know? Gorgeous, thank you for liking the live. But how it's affecting the kids is very important, y'all. And as a community, and I'm saying, as a community, I'm talking about, as a community, you are the community. We need to step up and do something. You know, don't be sitting over here letting your homegirl crash out. And you're right, good, as he should have. And I commend Michael Jackson for doing that. You know, everybody don't do that. I was told to watch a movie a couple of days ago, and it's called Mama Dearest. Yeah, it was back in 1971 or 81 or something like that. And my brother told me to watch Mama Dearest. And when I watched the movie Mama Dearest, I began to get like everything was flashing for me. Everything that we had been through as kids, it was flashing. And I was like, this movie back in 1981, my brother had already saw it, my sister had already saw it. Thank you for the gifts. Everybody had already saw it but me. And she couldn't have kids for whatever reason. And she adopted those kids. And when she adopted those kids, y'all, she treated them like shit. She adopted the kids, and then when she would give them things, she would make them give the presents or whatever she buy them to the homeless people. But you adopted 2 children to be mean. Like, I couldn't understand that. I don't know if anybody else ever seen, thank you for the repo. I don't know if anybody else ever seen Mama Dearest. Have anybody else ever seen Mama Dearest? I'm just the older one that seen the movie Mama Dearest. Girl, I can't stand that movie. I mean, absolutely, because it was pissing me off. It was a 2-hour movie, but it got straight to the point. It got straight to the point, you know. But that just goes to show you that she, even throughout all that, she still ended up having mental issues, but she was never diagnosed because she was an actress. So she was never diagnosed with having mental issues. She would scream at the kid, make them OCD is what she had as well. You want to give her some wine, yeah, like absolutely. Like it was just things she would do in the movie that really that's really pissed me off. And then after everything, y'all know what? After everything, she adopted those two children when she died. She didn't leave them nothing. She was an actress now. Remember back in the 80s, she had a little bit, she had more change than everybody. She didn't leave them kids not one red cent. Do you hear me? Not one. I was really pissed off with that. Cause I'm like, why you ain't leave them nothing after you done did all you did? Mentally abused them. She had multiple impersonation disorder. She had multiple people in there. You know. What you say? Show was a low down dirty. Yes, she was a low down dirty something. But kids are feeling responsible for other people's emotions, struggling to say no, feeling anxious, and when they are not useful. And kids that's chosen and they put in this position, they feel like that they have to do this, and if they're not doing, they're not helping or contributing to the family. And it shouldn't be that way. And she had no remorse. No, she didn't have no remorse at all. Absolutely. But I just want to let y'all know, you might feel strong on the outside, but exhausted in the inside. That doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're carrying too much for too long. I was a person, I'm in my 40s now. I was a person that didn't drop my bricks off until I was, at my son when I was 25. So I had to been around 30, 31 is when I dropped the bricks. And I said, this load is too hard for me to carry. My mom, she would push me, but she would push me in a way where she would live through me. And if I wouldn't do the things that she required me to do, then I was considered a bitch. I was considered a whore, and I graduated from college. And what I did in college was medical building coding, certified. I graduated from college, but that wasn't something that I wanted to do. And I didn't realize that till after everything was over, after the smoke was clear, that was something that my mama wanted to do. My mama was a janitor inside of a Methodist hospital here. And she was a janitor, housekeeper, however you want to look at it. And she didn't have no school. My mother does not have her education, but however, she was in the hospital. She saw the women doing, coding, and she wanted to do coding. And if y'all don't know what coding is simply numbers, simply letters that can identify whatever procedure that you may have. It is coded in certain words that only coders and the doctor would know what those terms are. But she wanted me to do that. She wanted me to be a coder. She wanted me to be a biller. I went on. I got certified. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I worked in a job probably not even 6 months. If I'm being real, not even 6 months as a coder. And if I could think back, not even 3 months. I was not, It wasn't something that I wanted to do. It was something that my mama wanted to do. And I feel like with my mama having mental health issues as well, she wanted to live through me, through her children. It's 3 of us. My sister have mental issues, and I'm the only one that's the chosen one. I'm the only one can think logically. I'm the one that can think outside of the box. Like I was saying a couple of episodes back, I am a Gemini. So therefore, I am a ruler of communication, if you know anything about science. Ruler of communication. I know how to do that and do that effectively. I know how to challenge you and make you think outside of the box. I'm very witty. So all of these things, I'm not understanding why. It was just me. Why this pressure was put on me. Like why I had to get us out the ghetto. I'm just being real. Why I had to do that. I didn't understand that. You know, I had to be an adult before time because I had no other choice. It was either continue to take the mental abuse or figure out something else. I'm not ashamed to say that my mother has mental issues. I know bipolar would be one of those things, and she also is a hypochondriac. And I'm not doing this to bash my mama, because somebody else said, "Please, girl, don't." No, I'm gonna forever speak. This is my truth. I'm gonna forever speak my truth, and if you don't like the truth that I'm giving, then this may not be the channel for you. You know. So my mother, yeah, bipolar. And we talk and we had different conversations, and I try to gather her back on the right path, but uh some things I can work through, and some things I cannot work through. Hold on, I'm trying to scroll back up and see what you said. You said, and I don't understand it, the hurt hearing that from your mom. Oh, it's so many children that suffer from the words and the actions of parents who have mental issues. Yes, that's why I came up with starting this podcast, simply because I wanted to change community word again. I wanted to help the community out. I'm with a force of sister that do a lot of different things. So it's not like I'm out here by myself, so to speak. I'm around women who empower. I'm around women who uplift. I'm around women who heal. And I'm not talking about with pills and all that old kind of stuff. I'm talking about herbalists. All types of women, farmers, all types of women are in this circle. I found home with these women. I found myself with these women. You know, thank you for sharing the live. I found me with these women. You know, I didn't know these women from nothing. I didn't know them at all. I had to go outside of my home to find out what a woman really was. And it's sad, you know. Those words shape the life for many children and can affect them for a long time. Absolutely. Absolutely. Can affect them. I'm telling you, I didn't see myself to in my 30s. My light didn't come on to my 30s. You know, I was already on my own, you know, but throughout all of that, it could be the same people that's watching this very live and would sit up here and will lie to me to my face and tell me there's not a problem. That's just the way my mama is. But at the same breath that you're using to speak with, I turn around and say, I'm hurt. My mama hurt me. The things she say to me, the things she do to me, you know. If you on my Facebook, I got a video that's pinned. I'm reminded, and some people may agree with this and some people may not agree with this. Parents whooping children with extension cords. That is abuse. There's no way to look at that. Other way to look at that. Don't say, oh, I'm okay now. But shit, you in your 60s. How long did it take you to get to that point? Or how long you gonna keep on living in that? You know, some people carry those hurtful words to their grave. Yes, definitely. I wouldn't dare pick up a extension cord and with my kids with that. No. You can't pay me to do that. It was abuse. When you had to go to the bushes and get your own switch, you said, that's amazing. They lying to themselves. Amen. It happened to me. I'm Queen. I'm telling you. It's crazy. But I'm reminded when I had to go to the bushes and I had to get my own switches that may have thorns on it, they may not have thorns on it. My grandmother on my father's side, she didn't play it. At least not with me. She didn't play it. We ain't using no damn stitcher cords. We ain't using no switches. And half of the time, I'm really be honest. When you beat them like that, are they slaves? Or are they people? Or are they your children? Like we gotta ask ourselves. As they say, I'm beating the fuck out of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they slaves? Did you give birth to them on the boat coming over? And I ain't even trying to be funny. There are so many forms of abuse: physical, mental, emotional, financial, spiritual, etc. It is because all of those I've already talked about. It's all on my YouTube channel, and so you definitely nailing that. You definitely nailing that. I just want people to see the error of their ways. I don't want you to be stuck in your ways. I want you to see the error of your ways. We have to remember how we felt during the whipping, not just for the licks, but seeing them mad and beating you. Yes, that's why I say, step back. And one of my homegirls, when she said to me, talking about, I don't need no vacation, but you dying in the inside. Like, nah. Everybody deserves a reset button that does long-term damage. It definitely does. It definitely does. Like, who are you raising? Again, I'm going to say, are you raising slaves? And until you are in that place where you want better, you may never see it. Absolutely. I'm telling you, I am. That's why I say people don't like to hear the truth. Or they'll say, oh, well, what you talk about, you judging me. How I'm judging you for telling you the truth? And you talking to me about the problem. Like, come on. Am I your friend? I'm going to say this again. Am I your friend or am I not your friend? Which one is it? You want me to love you as a friend? Because I'm not going to be no yes man. I ain't going to do that. I used to be more hurt that you took anger that far enough to just beat me like a person off the street. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, gorgeous. That's what I'm talking about. And be mad, and they be wailing on you. Some people even use, I don't know, they be like, use your fists and stuff with the boy. I don't believe in all that. I don't believe in all that. Because what you're going to do is make that child grow up and hate you. Why? Because you used to wail on me. And then I said, oh, you needed it. Says who? Says the one who's struggling with mental issues yourself? That's why you taking your anger out on me and wailing on me. And a lot of people don't, let me see. A lot of people don't recognize abuse. They don't recognize it. Or some of them find it funny. Oh, some of them find them comical. Some of them find them comical. I mean, to the point where you letting the kids do it and it's funny. Like, really? I'm telling y'all. Anybody, and I don't mean no harm when I say this, I promise. I don't mean no harm. Anybody that's born after 1986, anybody in that generation on back that's like 1990, 2000, anybody that's born 1986 and above are doomed. Are doomed. And they think that's why they're going to correct the issue. Yes, absolutely. If anything is making it worse, all the time. All the time. You said the truth hurts. Queen, absolute. The truth hurts. Why we got to be judging you if we telling the truth? That means something wrong with you. Like when we gonna stop being confrontational? Like we gotta stop that. Nobody wants your space. Nobody wants to take your spot, Otis. Nah. But like you said, they don't want to see or believe it. They don't want to see or believe it. I am. They don't want to see or believe it. They don't want to hear it either. I've been doing this podcast a little bit over a year. When I talk about stories that's celebrity, let me say that, or popular or well known, I have people flocking. They be everywhere. They love the drama. They love to see it. But when I talk about real stuff, and if you over here on TikTok, you see a little bit more than the people over here on Facebook and YouTube. But people come in, people come out. Because what you saying is hitting home. And I don't got no mental time for that. That's how they look at it. They don't got time for all that. That takes too much work. Who, me? Work on me? You want me to work on me? Why should I work on me? I'm ready to have fun. I'm ready to turn up. I'm ready to crash out. That's funny. What's funny about that? You know? But then my children's, like I said, anybody that's born from 1986, and I'm not trying to offend nobody, I'm just keeping it real. Anybody from 1986 below is doomed. There's no more grandmas. There's no more big mamas. There's no more auntie, the aunties. You know, there's no more TTs. There's no more unks. You know, thank you for the gifts. There's no more. So, what the hell gonna happen to the generation? You know, we probably gonna be ancestors by the end wondering what in the world is going on. We in our grave. What in the world? So that's why it's important to me to teach my children before I leave here. Because I need you to carry on. I need you to carry this torch. I need you to fulfill the ancestral line that I couldn't quite complete while I'm here. I need you to do that. Thank you for the likes over here. Thank you. I appreciate that. I need you to do that. That's your job. Because if you're going to be a part, what's up, Jay? How you doing? If you're going to be a part of this ancestral line, if you're going to carry this DNA that's running through your veins, if you're going to do that, if you're going to be a part, I need you to do your job. And it's the job of this bloodline. Each and every bloodline has a job to fulfill. I don't know what everybody's job is to fulfill for the bloodline, but I know them ancestors, them people that dead, that's gone on before you, they need some soldiers. They need some soldiers. You know? And I'm only called, where I'm from, or what I believe, we call them ancestors. Some people call them angels. Whatever it looks like for you, we're saying the same thing. We're not saying nothing different. You know? So they need some people that's about, you good? That's good to hear. That's good to hear, Jay. Thank you for tapping in. Shut the live for me if you haven't already. And they need some people that's really about it. So are you going to be serious, or are you going to play with your own bloodline? I'm pretty sure there's some business between the bloodline that never got fulfilled. I'm pretty sure it's some people in your bloodline that had some business now. They needed some people to continue this bloodline, and you wondering why they chose you to do it. Why not you? Why not you? Thank you for the gift. I appreciate that, because I appreciate all the love you're giving me. I promise I appreciate it. Much gratitude, and I will return. Like, nah. I'm for real, Queen. I'm being serious. Like, I'm pretty sure some businesses out there, whether it could be baking, sewing, whatever that looks like for your bloodline, whatever your grandma did to make money on the side, whatever your grandmama did to make money on the side, that's your business to do, to fulfill. If grandma made quilts, if grandma made cakes, somebody in that bloodline should have been able to carry this and fulfill this on out. Yeah, Queen, I definitely got what you were saying. I definitely knew. Yeah, I got you, girl. I got you. I understand. But I'm serious though. We got to start being about the family business. We got to start clearing up some stuff. If y'all don't want the stuff to get outside the bloodline, or then somebody needs to say, "Hey, fix it." You know. Again, why not you? You know, especially if you're the chosen one. Especially if you're the one that everybody likes to talk to, or they can always get a little something in. They always come to you every time it's cousins, auntie, or something. Everybody come to you. You're the chosen one of the family. It's some hard shoes to fulfill. No, it ain't gonna be easy. But do that while you're here. So when you get on the other side, you can get your reward. You know? Strength is learning when to put the weights down. Strength is learning when to put the backpack down. Strength is learning when to say enough is enough. Strength is learning when it said this load is too hard for me to carry. So in closing, if this podcast sounds like your story, cousin story, neighbor story, whoever story, I want you to do something. You were never meant to carry it alone. Let me say it for the people in the back. If this story resonates with you, you were never meant to carry along. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Most definitely. Got you, cuz. You were never meant to carry this alone. And you are allowed to choose yourself. No matter what instance, there's no excuses. Choose yourself. If it comes down to them, you, choose you. Don't choose them. They're going to choose them. So I'm just being honest. Thank y'all for listening to Domestic Fridays. Take care of yourself, not because you're the chosen one, because we're all human. Be the voice for the community. Stand up and say something. Be bold. Thank you. I love your podcast. This is powerful. I try to be. I try to be motivated, because they gonna say they tired. Absolutely, Queen. Absolutely. And I appreciate you, Queen. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Jay, if you're still over here, everybody that I can see, they don't want their name called out. I appreciate every last one of y'all. And I thank y'all for tuning in and listening to me. That means a lot to me as I embark on this journey to continue to be a podcaster. I'm not giving up. So whatever the ancestors want to do and using me as a vessel, I'm here to do that. There needs to be more conversation like this. Absolutely, I am. Absolutely. I don't doubt none of that. Gorgeous, thank you for giving me the likes. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody who shared the live, tapped the screen, and showed me love with the likes. And I will say this. When you do something for yourself, as far as a business, and I don't know why I'm led to say this, but I'm going to say it. If you're trying to do something as far as a business for yourself, and you find that the people, your circle that you thought was in your circle, don't support you, don't come to whatever you got going on. If you're selling hot dogs, they're there to open the bread. If you selling cakes, they there with the napkins. If you selling drinks, they there with the ice. You don't have to be monetarily every time something happens. You don't got to give money. Your presence is enough. So there are a lot of conversations that need to be touched in our community. Absolutely, cuz absolutely. And if you find yourself Nobody that's in your circle helping or want to participate or like, girl, come on, let's do this. Let's do, what can I do to help you? Man, those are not your people. Those are not your people. Those are not your circle. They ain't where you supposed to be. It's hard because it's familiar. It's common. But those are not your people. So choose you. Choose you. Thank y'all again. I see. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you for watching, and I will see y'all next Friday on Domestic Friday. It has been fun. It has, and gorgeous come out a little more. And if anybody wants to be on, we could definitely plug you in. We could definitely plug you in. I'll see y'all next Friday. Thank y'all, and I love y'all. Until then, go in grace.